All right, yeah, 673rd Computer Cyber Communications Park. It's all good, it's all good. So, good morning, everybody. So first off, Colonel Chang, Colonel Davis, Chief Orff, Chief Stafford, Chief Venning, appreciate you guys taking out the time of your busy schedule to help celebrate this achievement for our leaders here. Shout out to the back row, just because I can do that. Glad you guys are here too. You guys have an important schedule as well, so it's important for you to come and recognize your peers and your supervisors, subordinates. This is a big accomplishment for them. So, probably wondering, and I was wondering the same thing too, like why is this handsome lieutenant colonel giving a speech as opposed to one of the many enlisted leaders that we have here? I'll tell you a story, and then hopefully that'll fill out why Chief Venning was, I'm very honored that you gave me this chance to speak and just share some of my thoughts. Before I get into that, I want to request that everybody, you probably already have it already on, so take your cell phone out, and I want you to open your Facebook app, and then just put it right on your lap. My speech involves crowd participation. Seriously. Take your phone out, open up the Facebook app, and then put it down though. Okay, all right. Yeah, I don't know, this may or may not work, okay. So, what I want to talk about, I'm just going to tell you a story. I'm going to tell you a story about my dad. Okay, so, spoiler, feelings may happen, and something may happen in my eyeballs. Be cool about it. Because if you guys start, then I'm going to start, and it's going to get really weird. So my dad, December 19th, 2001 is when I commissioned in the Air Force. And so my dad was there, and at the end of it, we're doing our celebrations and stuff, and he gave me a card, a Hallmark card, and on the inside of it, it said, well, before I get that, Hallmark card, for those who don't know, there's a store where you can buy physical cards, and then you can actually write congratulations or write handwritten notes, and then give it to the person that you love. As opposed to like Facebook telling, congratulations, like this is a little bit more old school, but it still works. Handed me a card, and it had, said congratulations, said two things. So this is what I want to talk to you, class 18 TAC 4 about. It said two things. Don't forget where you came from, and don't forget how you got there. Okay, two things. Now, more crowd participation. Raise your hand if you're a second or third generation military member. Oh yeah, awesome. Okay. So I'm a third generation military member. My grandfather was a chief warrant officer for the U.S. Coast Guard. He actually commissioned me on that day. It was really awesome. And then my dad is a chief. He's a chief, he was a F4 maintainer. And when I say he's a chief, he's not an E9, he's a chief. This is back in the day kind of chief. And I know the chiefs know the difference between the chief and the E9. My dad was a chief's chief. So there's meaning behind those two things, why he told me those things specifically. So I'll share with you what they mean to me and what I'm going to expect out of you guys as you graduate and head back to your work centers. Don't forget where you came from. I'm a very, very proud son of a chief. There isn't, I don't necessarily say it out loud a lot, but a lot of times, I mentioned it to a previous chief one time, and then he's like, oh, well, that's explained. When I was a captain, he goes, that explains it. You come from good stock. Yeah. I take that as a compliment. There's a lot of times as an officer, what happens is I have to go through my thought processes. I'm like, am I going to give an order? When I give orders out, would I give that order to my dad? And that usually leads me towards the right answer. So dad, he was a maintenance chief. He's going to do what needs to get done, and he'll take care of the mission, take care of his airmen, and it all works out. So I usually use that as my measuring stick. It just reminds me that even though my rank is up here, that doesn't make me better than anybody else. It just means I have a different set of responsibilities, and I just need to carry out the orders of the day. So that's what don't forget where you came from, and don't forget how you got there. Don't forget who helped you get there. Really kind of like the version of it, right? So what that means is it takes a lot of stripes to make an oak leaf, a lot of them, and I'm very, very honored to lead the enlisted men and women in the unit. And I take that responsibility very, very seriously. I never take myself serious, but I take that responsibility seriously. So, what this means for 18 TAC 4. Don't forget where you came from. You represent the middle, probably the most exciting portion of our enlisted force, which makes us the greatest Air Force in the world, right? Staff sergeants, tech sergeants, I get really, really excited about that too. Because I know this is where where the rubber meets the road and all the phrases, this is where all the work gets done. Because you're you're doing mission command out there. You're taking the orders for myself, wing commander, group leadership, all that stuff. It's put in your hands, and then you turn to your men and women, and you take care of the mission. I know that, and I'm very, very excited about that. Other piece about, don't forget who got there, you're responsible for the most important resource in the Air Force, which is, of course, our men and women. All of our subordinates up and down the chain, you're responsible for that. And you're responsible for me. You're responsible to make sure that I'm executing the mission and you're doing your part for the team. That's a heavy responsibility, but you do it as a team. So remember that that's a heavy responsibility. Get over it. We need you to lead out there. Which General Goldstein was talking about, the Air Force we have and the Air Force we need. You know what stays consistent throughout there? You as enlisted leaders, you guys getting out there, taking care of the mission, taking care of the airmen. That's all that matters. Technology and stuff is going to, even as the cyber guy, technology is not going to save us. It's going to be you, active leadership from all of you. Cool? All right. So, when you go back to your work centers, those are the kind of things I want you to remember and think about, right? This was not a 6-week vacation where you just got out of your work center and reminder that you really suck at volleyball. Like, we expect you to, is it too soon? Is it though? There's an expectation. When I see a staff sergeant, tech sergeant strike, I immediately engage with you in a different caliber than I do with any other tier in the Air Force, because I'm excited about this tier. So with all the tools and all the new skill sets you've learned here in the PME Center, you need to use them. And really, really take the opportunity to, during this 6 weeks, digest it a little bit over the weekend and come back. You should be reblued a little bit. And I'm excited for that. Okay, so I mentioned crowd participation, right? Okay, so get your cell phone out, open up your Facebook app. So I need you to, on the search bar, search for Project Rise, 2 words. Give me a couple seconds. When you open it, there's probably gonna be like a whole bunch of Project Rise. I didn't realize that until I off-checked it this morning. So as you do the search bar, Project Rise, look on the left-hand side, and then you're gonna see an icon, the little things. Look for the one with a black background, and then has white text, and then the eye is red. There's actually an arrow going up. Anybody get it? Give me a thumbs up if you actually saw it. Okay, cool. So once you get there, scroll a little bit. You can go to the photos, or you can just see there's a post that says the one of my NCOA 18 TAC 4 graduation speech. So you can go past that one. So if you open it, that first picture you're going to see is me and my dad. That was the year of our Lord, 1998. I could say it like that when it's from the 90s. That was me trying to look cool next to my dad. I do not look that cool. I'm like a $120, trying to be cool. I was freshman summer of ROTC. And my dad looks like a badass chief right there. All sleeves rolled up and that crease like hella sharp, like really, really, really sharp. And that was where 301st Fire Squadron, he was the squadron superintendent and got me incentive right because he's a chief, he can do stuff like that. And I was just his son and I walked past a whole bunch of people who were probably mad about me getting one, but I was just enjoying spending some time with my dad. So you roll to the next picture, so it's gonna be me. So that's me and my dad last week. So my dad is currently resting in the National Military Cemetery in Honolulu of the Pacific. So it's called Punch Bowl, if you've been there before. So I lost my dad in 2014. And I don't get to have those cards anymore, right? Those 2 things. But I think about them every day. I just hope that being a son of a chief is hard. There's a lot of expectations for that, but I'm working really, really hard. You guys have that same responsibility. You may or may not be a son of a chief, but you're enlisted, just like my dad, and I expect the same out of you. Literally the same. The other people that, the second part of the don't forget who got you there is this side of the audience as well, right? Don't forget your spouses, don't forget your families, your kids. They look up to you, just like they look up to my dad. Go home, hug them. When you go home, call your mom, call your dad. Just tell them you love them. Take that opportunity. Told you the feels was gonna happen. Okay, I'm good. 18 TAC 4, congratulations. This is a great accomplishment. I really am excited about the next step you're gonna be doing and just bringing your tools back. We need you in the Air Force. We need you to lead. I need you to lead. Lead me. And the Air Force is gonna take care of everything. #DBA. I can't say it, it's a mixed company. That's all, thank you.